Yo, Steff, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, man, good to have you here.
Yeah, good to see you again, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was actually thinking, how did we met? Like, where was the first time?
I don't know. I don't know. You quit like DJing. So
I think it's
4 years
been,
ago.
yeah, I think it's been a gig in Leeuwarden or something, or
Yes, Leeuwarden. Oh, in Club Noah. That's
probably. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a long time because that's
That's
bankrupt right now, right? The club.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's totally bankrupt.
Oh, too bad. Okay, so
Yeah.
how have you been in the last few times? I saw a lot of stuff coming by, and I thought things were going well. So I
Yes.
I just thought to reach out to you and see how things were going.
Cool, man. Cool, man. Yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy right now with all the results. You just make music, but you never know what happens, you know. And if you create like a really cool new sound, which is like a dream for every producer, I think,
Hmm.
then I think we are on a good road, on a
Yeah, yeah. On a good
yeah,
way.
okay, a good road.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool. And
yeah.
let's just dive deeper into it immediately. Like, can you tell the listeners slash viewers a bit more about your story? Because I'm guessing that this last year hasn't been your first one.
No, no, no. I've been like I first started as a DJ in a small town here as a resident DJ,
Hmm.
and I learned about how to please the crowd, of course, and bring bring just music into the clubs.
Hmm.
But I didn't release my own tracks. It was even in the time only vinyl was in.
Oh, okay.
So that's a long story. Uh,
That's old school.
and I started. I was also a designer at the time. I made like a logo for Hardwell and
Really?
covers for every single DJ, like Ferry Corsten, Tiesto, or whatever. I don't know. So I had like a cool network, but I didn't produce. But I was a DJ. So after like I think I started I think 10 years ago with producing.
Okay.
No, 13 years.
13 years. Okay, that's
13
quite some
years.
time. And
Yeah,
what DAW did you start? Like, it was Logic, Cubase?
it was Cubase. Yeah,
Okay. Still using it
yeah.
now?
Like a big iMac we had, like with the egg
Mm-hmm. With the colors, with the
monitor,
colors on it.
and a big, because I started producing with there's a really cool story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was designer at a record company.
Mm-hmm.
Digidance was the name from at that time. The bosses were Adi, Koen, and Jan from the Clubheads,
Mm-hmm.
and they taught me like everything in this business. And I lived in one of the old studios, and I didn't produce, but downstairs there was a guy always producing. So I met him one day, and his name was Rene Campo, and we started producing, and that's also the reason why my name is Steff Da Campo, because the name was too long, like Rene Campo and Steff blah blah blah. We say let's do it like Steff Da Campo, and then it's done. You know, it's
Okay.
it's easier on the cover.
Yeah, I get it. So it actually, are you guys a duo or how is that?
We were a duo, and
Okay.
after I left Rotterdam, because I wanted to live again in my hometown in Leeuwarden, which is really far away from Rotterdam,
Mm-hmm.
in Leeuwarden. Well, we didn't had a fight. He was really happy to see me grow, but he wasn't like it was not his dream to produce like for his yeah. It was just like a hobby for him.
Okay.
So I started to use that name, and he's replying and liking everything. So still having, sometimes we have some contact, but it's not like we work together anymore.
Oh, that's quite a unique story. You know,
Yeah, it's quite unique. I think if he would like sue me or something, I think he will win also.
I wouldn't
So
say that too loud.
don't do it.
Exactly. I wouldn't be that. Oh man, that would be ugly.
That would be really ugly, but no, no, no. Rene Campo is like the first one I met producing, which we produce. So he taught me like the small stuff, and we had like a big thing, and we had well, how do you say, JP 8080, the synths, you
The
know, the
beat,
old
yeah,
synths
the old synths
with
and beat makers.
every big hits at the time made of like three presets.
Cool. So you
And
started out locally. You started out playing in
yeah,
local bars and stuff. And
yeah, locally, yeah.
and when was the first moment you recognized, like, hey, something is happening here? Like something's going up right now.
Well, I started producing and I got a little name, of course. At that time, it was really not really common to produce because it was really a difficult thing because you had to build a complete studio and not like now we can do it on a laptop and we can easily download some Fruity Loop stuff
Yeah.
and plug in. So at that time, you had to invest like 50,000 euros of guilders
Yeah, Gilders at that
at the
moment.
time. So
Yeah.
so it was not easy to be a producer at the time. You had to be really dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the question?
When was the first moment you
Oh yeah.
noticed something was happening, like things were starting to go out for you?
Well, they wanted. I had a residency, and they wanted to book me like in other places, and my residency wouldn't allow me to do that. Because of the concurrence,
Yeah, I know what you
concurrence,
mean. Concurrent.
the well, other clubs who
Yeah, exactly.
well, and so I had to make the choice at that time from well, would I stay here and die here, or should I go for it and see what happens?
Hmm.
And I choose the last one.
And how did that feel? Because I had the same moment, and I still know that that was really frightening to me because you had this secure thing, like a main income out of it,
Hmm.
and then everything disappeared because you choose for something else, and your income started to go down, and all those kind of things. How was that period for you?
Well, I had the artist of the design side of for my income, so
Ah,
the choice was not really difficult for me. But I know the feeling because a couple of years later I got another residency. It started to play on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like 4 years. And after 4 years, I had to make the same choice, but I wasn't a designer anymore. I was only producing and DJing.
mm-hmm.
So that was a big step. So it's the same as your
Yeah,
story. Is you have to decide if you want to do it. You have to invest your time in that kind in producing because there is no other way to build your
career.
well your dream. No,
Yeah, your dream.
otherwise you will stand still in the at the same time you got income, but you don't want to have income. You want to have success. You
Yeah.
want to see if your music is going well and want to enjoy your people the people with your music.
Yeah. So that moment was also pretty scary to you to
Mhm.
start making a living out of music and leave
Yeah.
the residency.
Yeah, and it was really difficult. Also, money-wise, it was really difficult, but it was really the best choice I ever made. And
Yeah.
I want to say to the people who will listen this, you have to choose between a job or your dream. And many people think, oh, we can work like 4 or 5 days, and then 2 days and nights we can do the music. But if you really wanna go for it, you have to decide. I quit work for 2 3 days, and then the rest is for your hobby, and eventually it will be your work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm a big believer of that as well, as in I'm not saying you have to throw away everything and go
No.
for it, but just to turn things a little bit more down and maybe take off 1 or 2 days a week from
Exactly.
your job. That's
Yeah.
way better. But because I really believe you need to spend time to eventually become successful. It's not like it's gonna happen from itself. You have to actually
No.
do something.
Yeah, well, there are so many producers right now. You know what I told you about a laptop. Everyone can buy a laptop, and
Hmm.
everybody can easily download the stuff, which is good because you have like much more creative people in the world now, much more music, which is better in the same way, because it's easier to release tracks and it's easier to make music. So it's better, but at the same time, you have to invest, and those guys are like students that don't have like a job because they have some school hours and they work like much more than you.
Yeah.
So they will easily go higher than you, which is no problem, because there are a lot of guys who are younger than me who are made it like Martin Garrix, for example.
Yeah.
But well, you know, that's a different story. But you have to invest like the time in the studio. I don't say you have to invest like 7 days a week, but try to balance the hobbies and the free time, and have and sit in the studio for the rest of the week, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. And what made it possible for you to make a living out of music? Because you said it wasn't at first, it wasn't possible.
No.
But eventually it was. So what was the difference between that moment and the one before?
Well, it's also a choice, you know. You have to. I already made some records, so I knew a little bit how much money you can earn for a record, and I know what it will do for a living. And you get booked for your music, not because I have a beard or getting naked to be in front of the camera. You know, it's the music is everything. So I thought, if you're gonna invest in the music, more people will recognize you and more people will book you. And that's it's always how do you say, you don't know what happens. You never know. You never know.
That's the beauty and the bad thing about the music industry.
That's the beauty and the bad thing, yeah. But for me, it's a beauty. It's a beauty because I love to invest and to see what I love to create new stuff. So cool. Eventually, it will always. If you really want to go for it, you have to go for it. And I say always there are two types of people, because I met a lot of creative people, much more creative than me. But if you don't have like the ambition to make a choice to go for it, then it's and just to work for a boss, then you have to go work for the boss, because you can't do it.
Yeah, it's either one or the other, but you can't do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And you mentioned that music is everything. What's your opinion about branding?
Yeah, branding. Well, if you are a DJ, people expect to play records, okay? But man, that's only 1 hour in a week or 2-3 hours in a week, because of some shows. The rest of the shows the rest of the week is producing, and branding is like 2 days of the week. You have to invest in video people, photo shoots, to let people know you're there. You know, you can play on Tomorrowland, but if nobody knows it, you have a big problem.
Yeah, exactly. I always like to tell people, know what you tell them. And it's a deep one, you know, like it's a simple sentence, but it has to sink in for a while.
Yeah.
And I really believe branding is really important as well. So what did you exactly do to, well, create the brand Steff Da Campo?
The brand is, of course, most of the thing is the music, I think. Because if you have like a good record, it doesn't matter what kind of artwork you have, what kind of if you are ugly or prettier or whatever, you know. So the music is important, but to brand your music, I think you have to look well. People have to see what you are doing, you know. It's for me, it's very very important to. This Friday there's a new release coming, and I had a show in Tokyo, and I brought like a camera guy and a photo guy. So I didn't make money from the gig, but I invest, you know, for just to let people see what I'm doing, you know, and the story behind what is going on, like the fans or whatever, how to drink a gin tonic or what I'm doing backstage and stuff like that, you know, and see the city, of course, as well. I want to let the people see what I'm really doing, and I'm really proud of that video as well. So
and that one is online already.
Not yet. Yeah, well, it's on. It's online because it's on YouTube. But I'm going online on my socials on Friday because then is the release.
Okay, cool.
And so yeah, it's like a sort of after movie / video for the track.
Cool. I'll check it out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, India. It's called.
India. Okay,
yeah.
Nice. I'll definitely check it.
Yeah. Cool.
And is the upcoming release, is that the one on Xtone or is it a different one?
The last release?
The upcoming one.
The upcoming one. Well, the upcoming one is India, like for Friday, but I have like, man, Jesus, I'm doing a track with Snoop Dogg right now. So
nice.
There are so many tracks coming out, and I doing like 1 or 2 remixes a month. 3 remixes maybe sometimes now because the sound is going really well, and I don't take every remix, but well, if I feel the vocal, most of the time it's a vocal which they want to have like a radio song which want to be in the clubs. Well, they ask me because I think of the number 1 I had this year, of 2 number 1s, with Make Me Feel and with Out of My Mind, which released on Xtone and on Hexagon. So that's mainly the thing.
Can you tell a bit more about how that works, the remix process? And with that, I don't mean like the production process, but how does it go before that? So before you start making the remix, what's the thing that people are talking about? Like, is it a flat fee? Is it a percentage based? Do they ask you or do you ask them?
No, I don't ask people anymore. I didn't ask anyone to make a remix. I think in my whole career not, because I think they have to ask you because of your sound, and if they like your sound, it's easier to make a remix because otherwise I can make a remix and they will not take it, you know. So in this case, I have like a management email address on the sites and stuff like that, and sometimes they receive like an email from, well, can Steff Da Campo make a remix, and what will the offer will be, and etc., and what will be the price and the fee, and most of the time for a remix it's just flat fee.
Yeah. So
because the original is of course written by someone else. So you can like sometimes you decide if it's really like you think it's a big hit or something. You have to talk about a little percentage for the track, because if it will be a major hit, well then you're fucked if you have like a flat fee. But in the same time it's a club track, you know. For me it's not radio based, so I don't think the chance is like more than 99% not be on the radio with my tracks.
So most of the things that get arranged before you even start are the flat fee and the possibility if it's possible for you to do a remix if you're open for it. And then you just start remixing and deliver the track, and that's it.
Yeah, I have to say the last 5 remixes this year was for or 6, I think. I don't know even. I made one. Dada Live was the first one who asked me to do a remix for that track this year. Gregor Salto. I had like one for Tuyamo, and some not big names, or for me not big names, but they are really big in the radio scene. So. They just asked me to do a remix, and they asked me a fee, and that's it, you know. And then we go like hand clapping, and and the price is, if the price is not like the work I have to do and what I'm doing right now, then we don't do the remix, of course. But I don't have like problems for now, and also all the remixes I 0%. All going through, so they all accepted to. There are some small details. There's a really cool story. It's about I don't know if he likes it, if I will tell it, but
just keep the names out of it.
Okay, well, the guy is asking me for a remix, a really big guy, and I didn't tell the name, by the way, so it's another guy. And the remix was instant ago, instant ago. And then he sent it to his sound designer, and we took like a week for the mid here, the highs there, the bass here, the break there. The drop is like needs to be one minus dB lower, etc., etc. And there was a moment. Well, I know it's important. Okay, the sound needs to be right, but it was a good track. It was already a go. I said to him, I told him like in a text message. I said, well, I played it last weekend, and I saw like 1,000 people running away because the drop was plus 1 dB, and he started laughing,
Yeah.
and then okay, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just cut the bullshit. Let's go.
Cut the bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I don't. The remix is done. I don't want to spend like 1 week for just like this kind of stuff,
Yeah, I can get it.
I know it's important to have like, if it's like, well, the bass needs to be this and that. No, it was like minus dB this and minus
yeah, that's tough.
Here, hertz there. I don't make music because I always it's just a feeling,
Yeah, you just do the creative part and you don't care that much about the mixing part. Well, you do care, but good is good, like.
Well, if the mix is good, the mix is like really important. People, if you can't mix, okay, for the people who are producing, if you can't mix, but your track is really cool, start invest in a sound designer who can really deliver the right mix, because you can have like a cool track, and I get like many demos right now, and they are all so cool. Sometimes I think it's so much better than my music, but the mix is so fucked up. And just listen to you don't need like a big room and sound stuff, and you can do it in your bedroom. You can listen like, oh well, the kick is here, the hi-hat is there, and play the song. Like, try to play the song a couple of times if you are a DJ, of course, and see what happens and see what's missing, because you're mixing like the one track and then your track and then the other track, and see what is the difference between the tracks.
Sometimes you get that volume dip in between, it's like, oh shit, it's softer.
Exactly. And what's really important is to try it out, but and just wait to send it to labels or to DJs. Wait. Just give it some time to process your mixing. Even in my case, I'm finished like a track or a remix or whatever, and I just send it like to the labels, bam, 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 and then after that I think, fuck, I didn't play it, and I played it, and I think, wow, this could be better, that could be better. I think, fuck, and you can get it back. You can't like email, sorry, the hi-hat was wrong, so blah blah blah. No, you have to think about it, and that in my case I learned a lot of just take your time.
Be patient.
Be patient, because a week later it's sometimes in your head like you have a track done and everybody needs to know, but nobody cares, So if you deliver it like in 2 weeks later and it's better, you have more possibility to release a track on bigger labels.
Yeah. Now we're referring back to that sentence. Now everybody knows what you tell them.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as you don't.
What is that? Sorry.
Everybody knows what you tell them. As in, if you don't tell anyone you've created the track, nobody knows about it, so don't care about it.
Exactly. Nobody cares, man.
Cool.
There's so many DJs that live in their own house and studio, but nobody knows you're producing like the big tracks, Try to send it to everyone. If big labels want to release it, they ask me, like in the beginning, they ask, who's gonna play it? I said, well, that's your job, right? They say, no, I wanna see first if big DJs are gonna play it, and that's the start. You have to send the track to the big DJs. Just send them to. They have managers and they have people who listen to your music. So just send it, and there will be a reply or not reply. If you don't get a reply, don't think they don't listen. They just don't like it. So try to keep sending the tracks, because if you got support, and there are so many DJs who are really cool and support younger artists and beginning artists, you know. So try to send it, and then send it to labels and say, okay, well, we got Martin Garrix support, we got Hardwell support, we got Don Diablo support. Well, they sign it like instant.
Immediately.
They don't even listen to the track.
Yeah, that's true. You actually have done their job. You've made it easy for them.
Yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, I thought it was the other way around. You know, you send it to labels, and I was really like, well, if you like it, you send it to the DJs, right? No, that's not how it works anymore.
Okay, I've got two questions from my side and one question from the Facebook group. Let's just do the Facebook group first. It's from Varun. He's saying production questions. How does he get groove in his tracks? Favorite synths and sample packs?
Oh, this is really cool, because every track, even if it's hardstyle or is it house related or techno, or in my case more future house, bass house kind of stuff, there needs to be a groove in it, and that's so important. But to create a groove, you can use like different ways to for me, the bass line is really important. The bass line needs to groove.
So the bass line is the part which is bringing the groove in your tracks.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna listen to like one of the tracks who did really well, like Make Me Feel, just listen to the bass, and you will hear it's kind of funky, you know, even if it's a future house track, and that makes it groovy.
But is it something you do on purpose? As in, do you have some melody in your mind, and do you think like, oh, let's try this, or do you start chopping up a note and start shifting around?
Chopping up. I don't have like I'm just trying some stuff, and then the bass line comes later. But the bass line gives the groove, because if you have like the melody, if you have like 10 layers, fuck it. If you have the melody, you have the kick, and the clap is really important. I think the clap is one of the most important things in the track, because of the groove. And if the clap, kick, and the synth is really going like, the rest is not is like you can fit like everything in the track.
Okay. And what's your favorite synth and sample pack at this moment?
No, I use so many.
The most used one.
Well, I got some Vengeance stuff.
And synth?
Well, you know what it is. I like to talk about music, but that, you know, for me, this what now is going on with Make Me Feel, I don't want to. Sorry, you have to find it yourself, man.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine with me. So I don't make music anymore, so I don't care.
No. I'm sorry, man. I can, you know, if I worked hard for this, man. I worked for like 15 years now, 30 years in the studio. I don't give it like now for in 1 minute time. Everything, you know, you have to create your own sound. So I can say, yo, this is a synth, but you have to create your own sound. And what I'm doing with the synth, that's really, I want to tell the people is, I don't use like a preset. It's just different. I try different things on the synth to make it more original. But with the synth, I doing a lot of stuff. And just listen to the track. You will hear the synth will coming up, even if it's like a small note. The sample goes coming up. You have reverb there. It cuts like there, and then it's going down, and then boom, boom, and that gives the groove, you know. Because if you like have a synth, it's cool, but not for me. I need like.
So it's it's more custom job.
Yeah. So it's finalizing every fucking note. Seriously, it's really it's if you find it out, then it's cool because you can use it like in different tracks. But to find it out, it cost me like I think 5 years or something.
Okay, no problem. What's the best thing you've bought for under €100 for your studio?
For under €100.
And that could always also be a coffee filter, as long as it's valuable to you.
For €100. Yeah, I think the M1. I think because I love that one.
Okay, let's take that one.
The piano kind of way. It is not that I'm using the M1 like only. I'm layering the piano with three people ask me like, oh, what the fuck are you doing with the piano? But I'm layering it so that you create also a different sound, and that's why probably people ask me what are you doing with the piano,
Yeah, exactly.
So try to find out for yourself which ones. I use the Nexus and M1, and the third one you have to
discover yourself. Okay. Okay. And looking back at the last 15 years, 20 years, 12 years, what's the most valuable thing you've learned from your artist career, in life in general?
Sorry, so you were like falling away?
What's the most valuable thing you've learned during your career?
Stick to yourself and don't, if you like a sound, you had like different eras. Like you had the tech house sound, then after that you got like the EDM sound. And you wanna fill in, but it's not your thing, Maybe it's your thing, then it's a great era for you. But if it's not your era, it's just stick to yourself, because there will be a time they will discover your sound,
Yeah.
So that's really important to stick with your. Don't flow with the genres and the styles too much, Just try to find your own. If you think you have an own sound, well, that's really important. Okay, it's if you have to find an own sound. I'm working now with 2 guys, which is really cool. They're Neverglow. I have the release with India this week with them. They are so fucking awesome, and they are so creative. But every time I say to them, okay, you have created like a cool track, but who is going to play it, Who is going to play it? Because that's really important to build up your fan base. And try to find a touch to create your own sound, but it's playable by all the DJs.
Yeah, balance it out.
Yeah. You have to create because if you think, and it's my start also in the beginning, I think, well, I made like a track and nobody loves it, but nobody's playing it. And after a couple of years, I think I could like create that sound, but if I go listening to the tracks which are now played, try to find a combination that the tracks will be played by the DJs. That's really important because it starts all with the big guys. It's like you have like a couple of big guys, but try to fit in, but with your own style. That would be really cool, and that's not copying style. You don't copy the style, because there's only one Oliver Heldens and there's only one Tiesto and there's only one name it, Diablo. A great example for me, and great guy. He has created a sound, and I got like tracks, like demos, and they say, yeah, it's completely Don Diablo. I said, yeah, it's a complete rip-off, Yeah. Try to make it like more original from your side,
Okay, that's a good tip. I really believe that works as well. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it works for me, so yeah.
Cool. Well, I would like to thank you for the time you took to do this conversation.
Yeah.
Good luck with the release this upcoming Friday and with the rest of the tour this summer.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later, man. Thank you for the interview.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, what's up? First of all, thanks for watching my content. Thanks for listening to the podcast and watching the videos. It means a world to me. You guys have been talking me about coaching and personal coaching for a while now, but I just thought it was a good idea to show you some experiences of my clients to see what a personal coach and a mentor could do for you and your career. So here are a few user stories, client stories from my side. Hopefully it's useful to you.
So in the first place, why did I take on a coach? I felt like I was very confused with the music industry, with the different players, and sort of I didn't really know who to speak to, who to send music to in order to get heard, and in general to to get exposure, to get the word out for my artist profile. And I felt like speaking with you really helped me understand which strings I have to pull in the music industry in order to really get the word out there and to make my music project successful. Working with you, I really liked the personal connection that you have with people, that you're not just someone typing an email or just a name, but I really liked that I got to meet you in person in your office, and we got to sit down and really speak about the things and speak about the questions that I had. And there's also something why I would recommend you to work with other people, because working with you, I felt like I can really ask specific questions, so I can come up in my mind, I can kind of come up with a strategy that works for me, and then sort of with your help fill the gaps where I don't know for sure what needs to be done, and what exactly I should do and the next steps that I need to take. So this is something that really helped me a lot to to have the personal touch with you, to really work with you directly together, sit down with you and get your opinion, and also knowing that you've been there, that you've done all of this, that you've been successful, and just really knowing that you know what's up and you know what's going on in the music industry. So yeah, thanks a lot, Joey, for the big help that you gave me, and I really appreciate your dedication that you're giving towards smaller artists that are up and coming, and really trying to help the sort of the unknown names to get out there and to get big. So keep going, good job, and thanks a lot, Joey.